Last night, of course, we spoke to former Prime Minister Tony Abbott, who earlier in the day had just returned from Ukraine. He had been in Kyiv at a security conference. And of course, overnight, I don't know if you picked it up, there'd been a range of bombing attacks from the Russians on the city of Kyiv, with significant destruction across the capital. Interestingly then, this morning I hear that the city of Melbourne still has a sister city relationship with the Russian city of St. Petersburg. I also heard this morning that the Ukrainian organisations or associations in Victoria had written to the city of Melbourne asking them to terminate the agreement with St. Petersburg. It had been suspended last year, but it was still on foot, hadn't been terminated. Well, interestingly, there was a bit of a rally this afternoon. Stefan Romaniw from the Australian Federation of Ukrainian Organisations joins me now. And in some breaking news, Stefan, I've made sure you're across this, but you've had a win. The City of Melbourne have voted tonight to terminate their sister city with relationship with St. Petersburg. Congratulations. Why did it take so long?
Thank you. Look, I've just come back from the town hall. We obviously ran a campaign. Suspension is not good enough. We're talking about atrocities. We have to sever all our relations with Russia. That happened this evening. We thank Sally Capp and the councillors who came out and saw us on the footpath. We discussed these issues with them. Why it's taken so long, I think sometimes people just forget this thing about what we call about Ukraine fatigue. We have now raised the issue.
Yes.
You know what's happening in Kyiv every single day now, not only night. Those atrocities continue. So Melbourne now stands with the international community in banning and also severing all the ties with Russia, which is great.
I don't know about Sally Capp. I can't say I've spoken to her, but I did send, when I heard about your campaign, I did send messages to Nick Rees. He is the Deputy Mayor, and of course, if you watch Sky News, he's often on Sky News, and he was straight on to it with me. He said he had an open mind. I gave him my arguments for it. I reiterated much of what I heard you say on radio earlier today. Excuse me, and I'm really pleased that they've taken this decision. What sort of signal will this then send to other councils around the world, do you think, with these similar sister city relationships? Because I'm told this is the first case around the world where there has been an actual termination. So hopefully others will do the same.
Peter, we have to understand what's happening. This notion that we can negotiate, and I heard this afternoon that somebody said, oh, look, if we suspend means we still can negotiate. You can't negotiate with Vladimir Putin. The atrocities that are happening, the only way we'll end up negotiating, and I think President Zelensky has said this, when every Russian boot is off the Ukrainian soil. We're hoping that this sends a strong message. This war happens every single day. Every day, children are being maimed. Kindergartens are being blown up. Hospitals are being blown up. I was in conversation with one of the government people yesterday around about this time, which is the afternoon in Kyiv. And all of a sudden we hear, listen, I got to go. And then he sends us a video of a bunker where they've all run. The children are running. I mean, this is during the day. So there is no negotiation. We have to be strong. I think we're very fortunate in Australia that we have a bipartisan approach to this. We have a government that's supporting, and obviously we're calling to the government, we need action now. We need more Bushmasters. We need Hawkeyes. We need to ensure that Ukraine gets what it needs to win this war. At the same time, people like former Prime Minister Tony Abbott, who, people forget Tony's big involvement at MH17, and he was the only one who stood up to Putin at that point in time. So I spoke to Tony this morning.
That's right.
Obviously, we're talking about a bipartisan approach, and we'll be continuing to say to government,
we'll keep it going.
Australian government,
I'm out of time, Stefan, I'm sorry.
We've got to do it now. Okay, thanks,
We're out
Peter.
of time, I'm sorry, but I think that the sentiment's absolutely there. Thank you for your time and congratulations on your win.